What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, LL, leader of the handmadeandbeyond.com website and community. I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, an Etsy expert, and business coach who's figured out how to make my entire living with my handmade business. Each week, I'll dive into strategies and success tips to help you with your handmade business, with Etsy, and everything in between. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast, where we tackle everything handmade, everything Etsy, all that good stuff to help push your business forward so that you can have a lot more success and get there a lot faster, and that is my hope for you. Hopefully you and your families are doing awesome. I am back with another really good episode for you guys today, and this one is all about the 10 most important key terms to know when running an Etsy or really any online e-commerce business for that matter. These are the terms that are really important to know, not only what they mean, but know where your company stands, what you're doing, the ins and outs of your numbers of these terms which relate to your business, your insight of your business, and all that good stuff. So that's why it's really important to know this, and that's why I want to tackle these today. It may not be a super exciting episode for you guys to talk about terminology, right? Where it's like we're back in 6th grade having like a vocabulary test or something like that. But I find this stuff, numbers and business terms, a lot more exciting when it's relating to your own business and something that you created and you built from the ground up. It becomes a lot more exciting than talking about some phantom business or some terminology that doesn't relate to anything in your life. So that's why I think this is better than that 6th grade vocabulary test. All right, so let's start diving into these terms. The first one that I want to talk about is visits. This is something that's important to know, and a lot of people get visits and views mixed up. So actually, number one and number two, one is visits, number two that I want to talk about is views. So I'm just going to combine them together because they relate hand in hand. So visits are unique visitors to your shop. So think about if you have a storefront and someone walks into your store and they start looking at stuff. Well, that is one visitor to your shop, so that counts as one. Now, they may pick up and look at multiple different products, just like in your online shop, they may bounce around to different listings. Then that counts each time as a view. So you could have one visit and 10 views, meaning one person came into your shop and looked at 10 products or 10 listings. So that's where they diverge. I think it's important always to look at visits over views because I'm trying at the end of the day to get as many visits, as many unique people into my shop as possible, because that is what will increase your chances of getting sales and making more revenue. Views are good as well, but if you have 1,000 views and only one visit, that's not real good. I'm not trying to get one person to look at all my stuff without buying. I'm trying to get many, many people in my shop, and hopefully many, many people will buy. So that's how to look at views over visits. Both are good metrics to look at in your business. All right, number three, this one's important as well, and it's something that's talked about frequently, is conversion percentage. So basically the number of people that are buying your stuff divided by the number of visits. So how many orders do you have? And then you divide that by total visits. You can do it for each product. You can do a conversion rate for individual listings. You can do a conversion rate for your entire shop. It's good to look at both. Conversion rates are an important metric to see how successful our products are with our audience. If your conversion rate is 0 or super low, that means you're getting a lot of visits, a lot of people looking at that product, but they're not converting, they're not buying for some reason. So that could tell us a story to help make adjustments to improve that. Now, on the other hand, if your conversion rate is high, that's good. That means that people are buying. You're being really successful with that product. And if your conversion rate is super, super high, maybe that could tell you a different story. Maybe your prices are a little bit even too low, and you can capitalize on some more revenue by increasing your prices. That's a little hairy. A lot of people don't like to do that. They don't want to mess anything up. But sometimes that could tell you the story the other way too. So you want to shoot for at least a 1% conversion. If you're in anywhere in between 1 and 3%, you're doing pretty good. If you're above the 3%, you're killing it. So keep doing what you're doing. All right, so the next one is clicks. So this is when someone actually clicks into your listing. So a lot of times with ads, they'll have a click percentage, and you have impressions. I didn't include impressions on this, but impressions are basically people seeing your ad, but clicks are when they actually click into your ad. So again, it doesn't really matter how many people are seeing your listing or your ad. If they're not clicking on it, that is bad, and that means they're not going to buy it if they can't click into it. So clicks are a good thing. You want to see as many clicks as possible, and then from there you can relate how many clicks you're getting to what's happening with the actual listing. If you're getting a lot of clicks and no one's buying, there's a reason for that as well. There may be some confusion with the listing, something's not clear, but it's a good metric to kind of look at and see how many clicks you're getting. All right, number 5, return on ad spend. So relating to ads, if you are running ads, return on ad spend is a very important metric to look at to see how your listings are performing. So it's ad revenue divided by ad cost. So this, and you're going to get a number in there when you do that calculation. Obviously, if you don't have any orders yet, you don't have any revenue yet, it's going to be 0. So hopefully you have some revenue. So usually between 3 and 7 is a good average, good industry average, depending on actually what your niche is, and the cost of your items will impact that. If your products are higher cost, you're naturally going to be a little bit lower. But you should be shooting for at least a 3 to see how well you are performing in relation to your ad spend. So another way to look at it is when you take your ad revenue divided by your ad cost, say you get 2 or 3, that is really the amount of dollars that you're getting back from ads. So if you're at a 3 when you're doing that calculation, that means for every dollar that you spend, you're making $3. Pretty good. If you're at a 4, for every dollar you spend, you're making $4. So that's pretty good. You're getting money back. So depending on your business, depending on your margins, that is really what's going to tell you what you need to be at and what you need to make there, because you still have overhead costs, you still have supply costs. So a lot of people, if they're only at a 2, that's not enough meat on the bone. Even though you're making $2 for every dollar spent, you got production costs and all that stuff. So if you're not really making any money, then you need to figure out what you're doing wrong or stop advertising, because it's not going to be worth it to you. So just keep that in mind when you are advertising. Those are important, very important numbers to look at to make sure you are actually making money. As I always say, you're in the business, you're doing this to make money. At the end of the day, you need to make money to sustain yourself. You're just not trying to give everything away. All right, number 6. This is another good one. It's a lot of people have seen it. It's YOY. What that means is year over year. So this is a really good metric to look at to see how you're performing year over year. You can do this in your stats tab in Etsy to see year over year visits, year over year revenue, year over year conversion, year over year orders. So it's important to look at to see how you're performing compared to last year. What I always like to do is compete with myself year over year. If I'm beating myself year over year, you're always going to grow. Even if it's small growth, that is really, really important. So compete with yourself year over year. Don't worry about your competition so much. It's important that you are improving year over year, and that will get you to where you want to be. All right, so the next one is traffic. So this is something that's talked about a ton. Traffic is super important because traffic are people coming to your shop. Visits, views are all traffic. The more traffic you have, the better chance of making sales, making more revenue at the end of the day. So this is important, and there's a lot of ways that you can drive your own traffic through advertising in or outside of Etsy, through SEO within Etsy, with keywords and stuff like that. But traffic is what you want. The more traffic, the better. That will lead to sales. So that is important to know and see how you're doing as far as traffic, and also where your traffic is coming from. If you are doing social media, you can look in your stats tab and kind of see where your traffic is coming from. The majority of your traffic, continue to focus on that and build that out. All right, number 8 is revenue. So this is important because a lot of people do get revenue and profit confused. Revenue is everything that you've made off your orders. This is just the straightforward number. All the sales, all the total amount that you've made off your orders is your revenue. We're not taking anything away. We're not including fees. We're not doing anything like that. So if you look at your stats tab, your number there, that is your total revenue for whatever time period you want to look at it. Now, number 9 is profit. This is what is left from revenue after you take out fees, after you take out your supply costs, after you take out any expenses that it takes to run your business. I mean, this could include like I said, supplies. This could include costs of, tools that you use, online tools, third-party tools, any education that you've spent, courses, memberships, stuff like that, where you've used to train yourself up for your business. All that stuff is included in as far as profit and what your profit is at the end of the day. That's a very important number, because if your revenue looks great, if you have $100,000 in revenue and your profit is only $5,000, that is not good. It doesn't matter how much revenue you're making if you don't have any profit at the end of the day. So make sure that you're keeping tabs on that. You want that number to be strong. Now, keep in mind, your first couple of years of starting your business, your profit's probably going to be a lot lower than it should be, because you're using, or you should be using, some of that money to reinvest in your business. Better machinery, better tools. That stuff will give you returns later on, and that's one thing that people mess up too, is when starting out a business early on, they just take. And they take all that profit and they don't put any of it back into their business, and their business doesn't grow, and then it just slowly starts to die. So there's a fine balance. You still want to make sure to pay yourself, but you also want to invest back into your business so you can continue to grow to get to that point that you want to be at. All right, so the last one, and this is probably the biggest one, is SEO. That stands for Search Engine Optimization. Super important term. This is basically all of the keywords that go into your listings, all of the important areas of SEO, such as your shop setup, all of your shop components, and your actual listings themselves, your categories, your reviews. All that stuff goes into SEO, but mainly SEO is the keywords in your listings, because that is what will directly drive traffic to your shop organically. So a lot of people talk about SEO, they're talking about keywords, but just understand that SEO is not just keywords. There's all kinds of variables and components as far as SEO goes that all play together to help your shop perform better. So SEO optimization is just making sure that you're doing all the good best practices, or the recommended best practices, so that your shop can be optimized, so that you can get as much traffic as possible. And SEO is a living, breathing thing. It's not a set it and forget it. It will have ebbs and flows. You will have to continue to learn, continue to make adjustments, in your shop, in your listings, continue to learn. There will always be changes. There will always be factors that impact that. So if you're not ready to play that game, then you're probably not ready to sell online, because no matter where you sell, SEO is a factor. So just make sure that you have that understanding. That's something you're always going to have to deal with online. Yeah, sure, it can be a pain in the butt, but the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. You didn't just hop on a bicycle the first day and ride 3 miles. You probably fell down, skinned your knee, and didn't want to ride a bike again. And then you got back on it, and you got better and better and better, and now it's like second nature. So SEO is the same way. It will continue to evolve over time, but it will, if you embrace it, it will teach you so much about your business, about your audience, and that stuff will help you. It'll help you grow. It'll help you be able to invest back in your business with knowledge and have a really good understanding of what is going on. So that is how I would look at it. But it is important. It's always going to be there. So you're always going to have to try and figure out, try to optimize it and do the best you can with your particular business. But that's it, guys. Those are the 10 most important key terms, or what I think are 10 of the most important. There's a lot more. But when running an Etsy or online business, those I think are terms that you should know and you should be very familiar with as far as what they mean and what your business is doing in relationship to those terms. So hopefully that helps you guys out. If you guys are brand new to Etsy or you're getting ready to start your Etsy shop, I just want to let you know about a quick start guide that I created just for you guys. It's a free PDF download. It's only a couple pages, a quick read, but it'll help you get your shop ready to go. It'll get you optimized and it'll give you the things to think about and get aligned so you can start out with a leg up and have the best chance of success early on. Because a lot of people get ready to open, or they open and things are all misaligned and they're not doing things correctly, so it really sets them back, and it takes a lot more time for them to see results or see their first sale. So I want to help you guys get past that a lot earlier, a lot faster, and be ready to go. Even if you just started or you're getting ready to start, this is a really good guide for you guys. Like I said, it's free. It's something I put together to help you guys out, so that you're not, you have some direction early on in your business. So you can get it at handmadeandbeyond.com/quick start. Like I said, free download, get it there. That's all I got for today, guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll be back really soon with another great episode for you guys.